Welcome back everyone to Welstopia, and I have finally come up with my idea for how to handle the first hole, and it will indeed be over here. And the first thing I want to do for this is to clear out a few of the local trees so that I have a good shot to the area. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tee area right over here. Let's get rid of this thing here. And what I want is to have a 5x3 area that's going to act as the tee area. And that'll be a nice flat surface, which is why I'm getting this all the way here. So let's see. I think I do want to have some dirt all the way around. That'll just be the style of it. And we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So just take this here. Good. Now the idea here is to, do I have a shovel? Yes, I do actually have a shovel with me. So why don't I use that? 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. And let's do it this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take light gray terra. Well, I was thinking light gray there. I may change the outer color to something. I'll see if I could come up with another color I like better for that. And in the middle of this, I'll be putting red. And this is going to be the tee area for the first hole. And each hole is going to have a color identifier. And the idea here is for the first hole, you stand right here. And when you're standing right there, you have to stand anywhere within this tee area and then you throw across there. Now you may be wondering, what do we do if you land in the water? For that, it's not going to work exactly like golf. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to put a drop point on the other side. I think usually in a golf course, if they have a drop point for water hazards, probably on the side that they're most likely to enter it. I can't think of. I don't know. I haven't. I don't. It might not have been the best idea. But the idea there is then if you miss it and you wind up in the water, you will have a drop point right here. And this is where you can take your next shot. Now, of course, if you are forced into there, there is, of course, the usual penalty stroke. Or penalty toss, since this is a throwing game rather than a hitting game. And then you go into here, and therefore, of course, red, just like this. And then finally, we will have the hole right on top of this little hill. The target will be right here. And what I want to do is, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try to remember what's going to be 5x5 or 7x7. We will start out by creating a 5x5 area and see what happens. In the center, we will have a pillar. Oops, that is slightly off of what I wanted. We'll have a pillar of 3 height of the color, and on top of that we'll put a redstone lamp. And then on each of the 4 sides right here, we will put a button. You can see we can turn on the button by pressing it. Then after that, we will have our off color, which is, well, light gray right now, but something that could change, as I said before. And then finally, go back to the target color. So this is our target. And on top of that, I need some lighting. Well, what if we put this as our lighting around here? There you go. Now, let's see how well this works. I've got 4 pearls on me. And let's see what we can do here. Now, the idea there is to be able to get into a position where you could press the button. First thing I have to do is to find my tee-off spot, right? Ah, here it is. Perhaps the tee-off spot should also be lit. Yeah, I'll think on that in a moment. First off, all right, there's the target right there, so I can see it. So the question is, how close can I get to that? Well, I'm in the water. I think this is a case where I could do it as it lies instead of having to... I mean, I could, if I want, take the penalty stroke and head onto there. Now, of course, you're not allowed to break the sugar cane if you're going to toss it from here. So let's see what I do for here. Two throws. That's the answer to that. So therefore, it can be done in 2 throws. The idea there is you complete the hole when you're able to hit the button and light to the lamp to indicate that you have managed to complete it. Now, that means this should be able to be doable in 1. I actually went on top of the button. Well, that answers that question. I think that is successfully done. And the idea there is after that, I could create another one. Probably have a tee off right there. And how about a shot over to there and then going around like that? Let me go and try to build a second hole. Here we are at the second tee location. Up there is a drop spot. And then, of course, right there we have the orange tee and the orange hole, and blends in a bit with the background. So I'll probably have to do something about that. Maybe build a tree or something like that that would give a contrasting shape behind it. So I'll probably have to remove some of those trees and add a couple of there. Now let's see if I can hit this. Well, it's a pretty decent shot. I think I shouldn't have too much trouble getting to there. Yeah. And that is the second hole. So it looks like getting it in 2 is the usual way for this. And what I'll probably do here is take down a couple of these trees, put a tree here to give a contrasting background perhaps. Assuming that does give a contrasting background. And probably come up here in order to make a third hole and then click down over there. Good. With 2 holes complete, I'm returning to the temple, which has been neglected for a little while. And I'm finally reaching the area where the Earth Temple is going to be. The Earth Temple is going to be right over here. It's going to be a real massive area. And this sequence of corridors is going to be a great U shape that's going to go around it. So this is about half the corridor size. I have to go through another half down there and then up again, and inside of that is going to be the Earth Temple. And that is going to be slowly worked out, but this is one entrance to the Earth Temple. And there are others along on this half, as you saw those entering passages, but we're going to have a second way into it, the way in on the other side here. And that's going to be coming through a room that is here. But this is a guarded room. This is a room inspired by the original module and also in the DDO one. In the original module, they say that there is a ballista in this area, and in DDO, they really followed that up, and they put in a real nasty ballista trap here, where there are some guards there. They fire this ballista, and it can really rip you to shreds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some arrows in there and put a pressure plate here. What happens if I do... Yeah, that's what happens if you do this. So the idea here is you go here and boom. Ouch. You got the idea. So therefore you have to have creative ways in order to get around this thing. So it's not just a place where you can just enter in and take care of it. So that is one little nasty trap to pay homage to the DDO Gatling Ballista. With that little trap complete, we can then head on beyond it. And I've built this up since the last clip. And this ties back into this area. This is the other end of the U now built up. And in the middle of this, we have our stairway down, and this goes down into the second level, which we'll deal with soon enough, I'm sure. But now we have the U complete. It's now time to create the Earth Temple, which is going to be hollowed out from all of there, and it appears that we already have quite a bit that's already been opened up just naturally, and of course I hear zombies and the like. Now unfortunately there is a ravine right around there that seems to be a natural spawning place for all sorts of monsters, and I'm not too sure what I'm going to do about that. But I need to open up this entire area, get it all lit up, and avoid that witch that I just heard cackling. And the idea here then is to open this all up and then create the Earth Temple from there. And this is the result. Now there are 3 items mentioned in the original Temple of Elemental Evil module that I wish to include in this. The first of these is that I will have walls of sandstone going all the way around, because it very clearly dictates that that there are sandstone walls going around. So I will create sandstone walls to go all about. Here are the limestone walls that are called for, and this took every single block of limestone that I have. It also took some of my sand because I had to convert some of my sand into sandstone. So now I'm out of sandstone. So obviously I'm not going to make the wall any higher unless I transition it into something else. The second item that is called for in the module, in the description of this room, is a floor made from packed earth. Now, I wasn't sure exactly what I mean by packed earth. So I decided I'm going to use dirt for this. And the reason I'm using dirt is going to be becoming apparent later on. But for now, I want to get this dirt in. Here is the result. Now, of course, the module says nothing about jack-lanterns as a light source, but I thought anything else would be even more jarring. The actual light source in the module is a phosphorescent lichen that is all over the place, but we don't have that in Minecraft. The third item, though, that it does mention is a pyramid in the center, and it is a pyramid made of earth, which is what I'm making here. Good. Now, I don't know yet what I'm going to do for lighting. We'll take care of that in a moment. But for now, I'll just put some light up here to make sure nothing spawns up there. And another feature of this pyramid is that there are stairs going all about it. Yeah, here are the stairs. And therefore we have stairs on each of the 4 sides made of stone. So I figure stone brick. I have to think of whether it's better to use stone brick or cobble for this. For now, I'll use stone brick. And then finally on the 4th side, like so. Good. And that then is the altar for the pyramid. So those are the items that are mentioned inside of the module. Now the question is, what would be a good light source here? For now, I think I will keep the torches, though if I come up with something better, I'll change that through. Now, I don't know yet whether or not I need to put anything on the ceiling, or would a rough ceiling do, or perhaps, maybe even a better idea, would be to have a dirt ceiling. But of course, this isn't the Temple of Elemental Evil. This is, of course, the Temple of Elemental Pine. And I was thinking, what use could I put to a large room that is full of dirt? And I was thinking that perhaps, maybe the cattle. Now, in the actual module, there are 4 earth elementals going all about guarding the area. And so originally I was thinking of putting in 4 stone golems in here. But what if I instead move the cattle here, have them installed here? Of course, I will replace some of this dirt with grassy dirt, and that of course make the whole thing grassy. And does that kill the effect, or does it enhance it? That's something for me to think of. And I think that's what I'll ponder between now and the next episode of Pineleaf Plays Minecraft Welstopia.